Are you feeling stuck on your weight loss journey? Watch this video for my ride or die weight loss hack after losing 30 plus pounds on a GLP-1. The first one is a little bit silly because I am on a GLP-1 and that is my first hack. I'm on compounded tirzepatide. I've been on it for about 5 months and I've lost a little over 30 pounds. It's been life-changing. If you're not a GLP-1 fan, don't click out of this video. My hacks can still help you if you're trying to lose weight. My second ride or die weight loss hack is protein first at every meal. So every single meal, I'm prioritizing protein. Even my waffle at breakfast has protein in it. I try to get at least 100 grams a day, usually between 100 grams and 140 grams a day, because every day is different. But I highly recommend protein first at every meal. And if you need protein hacks, I have a video for that. It's called Lazy Girl Protein Hacks. It's really helpful. My next ride or die weight loss hack is water, hydration. I try to get at least 120 ounces a day. I love to use electrolytes. I love LMNT, Liquid IV, sugar-free. Those are my two favorite brands. I have 1 packet per day in my water, and then I try to drink just ice water after that. So definitely prioritize hydration if you want to lose weight. Drinking fluids can really help flush out your system and flush out that fat. My next ride or die weight loss hack is fiber, fiber, fiber. I do find sometimes it's hard to get fiber in. Fruits and veggies. If you like protein smoothies, you can sneak it in there. Frozen spinach, frozen fruit, chia seeds, flaxseed. And a lazy girl hack with the fiber is I have Mira fiber gummies every night. My next ride or die hack is when you do eat out, which I try to do less frequently than I used to. And then if I do pick something, I try to pick the healthier option. But when you do, kind of go into it thinking I'm only eating half of this and save the other half for later. If you're on a GLP-1, this is more important because you really can't have a huge meal or you're just gonna feel very sick. If you're not on a GLP-1 and you're looking to lose weight, this is a great way to plan ahead, have a healthy portion, and then you can have the rest later if you're still hungry. But it's just a hack that has really worked for me. Going along with that, if you're on a GLP-1, try not to get too high fat or too greasy of an option because I know that that can cause sulfur burps. Another ride or die hack is don't deprive yourself. It's all about balance. So it kind of goes along with the last one, but don't deprive yourself, but don't eat the whole portion either. In our society today, when we go out to meals and dinners, they give us a huge portion. And that's really not healthy for anyone to eat in one sitting. So going at it where, you can still have your favorite foods, but just in moderation. And I know that phrase we can be desensitized to that phrase in moderation, but I like to think of it more as just portion control, being easy on my digestive system. If I'm hungry later, I can always have the rest of the portion later. My next weight loss hack, it kind of goes into fitness, is when you're starting out, start slow. If you're very overweight, as I was, it was hard for me to do tricky workouts, jumping, doing all kinds of different things. I really couldn't do that in the beginning. I could walk, I could do the incline on the treadmill at the gym. After I got that first 20 pounds off, I felt stronger. I felt like I could do more. So since then, I've been in the gym. I've been doing classes, body pump classes, strength training, legs and core classes, Pilates classes. So my main goal is to build strength and build my core, really focusing on fat loss, which really is as easy as walking. Trying to do anything too tricky in the beginning when you don't have that strength, you could injure yourself. So you really don't want to be doing that. You also want to consult your doctor because none of this is medical advice, but you want to consult your doctor with any exercises as well if you're not sure if you can do them or should be doing them. Another ride or die hack has been just to eat breakfast in the morning. It really starts my day off right. I get a lot of my protein portion for the day in, and I just find it sets a tone for my day. I'm not scrambling later on in the day, really hungry. I start my day out with a pretty hearty breakfast and full of protein so that my tank is full for the day. Another ride or die weight loss hack has been knowing my hunger cues and recognizing them now. So I eat when I'm hungry, but just because it's 12 o'clock and that's when people normally eat lunch, I don't just eat if it's 12 o'clock. I eat if I'm hungry at 12 o'clock. But if I'm not hungry till 1 or 2, I'm not eating until 1 or 2. Something that goes along with that is that I've learned is hunger is also not an emergency. So if I'm out, I drive a lot for my job. If I'm out on the road, back before I lost all the weight and I really committed to this, if I was hungry, I really thought it was an emergency. So I had to go to the nearest fast food, get something and make sure I wasn't hungry. Now it's not an emergency. I let myself feel hungry. If I have a small snack, a protein snack or something with me, of course I'll eat it if I'm hungry, but I can also kind of sit with it for a little bit, give it 10, 20, 30 minutes. If I'm still hungry, then I'll reach for the snack, but if I'm not and my body's just kind of doing what it's doing, I wait. I wait till the next meal. I wait till dinner time. This piggybacks off of the last one, but this is definitely a ride or die hack, is just having easy protein snacks on hand. Like I said, I drive for my job, so I'll bring them with me on the road. And I always have an easy snack to grab if I need it. Another ride or die hack for weight loss for me, keeping me on track, is taking progress pictures every single month. Instead of focusing solely on the number on the scale, I wish I had taken my measurements in the very, very beginning to compare to now. Taking pictures and comparing them to when you first started really helps see how far you've come. In my video about BMI, I talk about, not completely concentrating on the number on the scale, tracking other measures of health. So watch that if you're interested in that topic. And progress pics, I actually share my progress pictures month to month in my 5-month progress video. If you're interested, you can watch that in the GLP-1 playlist that I'll have linked. Another ride or die weight loss hack or mindset shift that I've had is to keep going, because the time is going to pass anyway. You might as well either maintain where you are or continue your progress of weight loss if that's your goal. I think of it as I'm focusing on today. I'm focusing on this moment. What am I doing that is helping me toward my goals in this moment, in this day, and not getting sidetracked if I maybe make a bad decision, let's say food-wise, or don't work out for a week or whatever it may be, not to let that derail me and let that get me completely off track. Because that's just, in the grand scheme of things, that's really silly, because the time is going to pass anyway. Now, in the past, when I've tried many different ways to lose weight, I just never stuck to it. And if I made a bad choice, I would let it derail me and I'd be 5 steps back. I would maybe even gain weight. Being someone who has been there as far as starting over, getting off the wagon, starting over again, getting off the wagon, and how in the end you end up probably gaining more weight if you keep doing that over and over and over again, as opposed to staying on track, not letting one bad meal derail you, or one bad day, or even one bad week. Just nose to the grindstone, have self-compassion, and keep going. Another ride or die weight loss hack that has really helped me lose 30 plus pounds on this journey is having low expectations when it comes to weighing myself. Before I get on that scale, I have low expectations. I let the scale tell me what it is. I use it as a metric. I don't look at it and let it determine my emotions anymore. I used to do that. And because I did that, I didn't weigh myself for years on end. I didn't weigh myself even throughout my pregnancy. I mean, that's how bad my relationship was with the scale. But now going into this journey, everything changed, and I just said to myself, you know what? If nothing changes, nothing changes. I have to look at this differently. I have to look at this as a tool. Another tool, again, the GLP-1's a tool that I'm using. I'm getting on the scale. It's just a tool. It's not going to dictate how I feel about myself. I'm going to get on here. I'm going to write down the number, and I'm going to move along my day. I'm going to compare it to last week. If it's less, then I'm happy. If it's the same, I'm happy. If it's more, I'm going to reflect back on my week and think, okay, what could have happened here? and make my adjustments to my plan and then just move along. So that's been huge for me. And I highly recommend you looking at the number on the scale, just taking it as a long list of things that we're kind of tracking. It's not the end all be all. My goal for weight loss on this journey was 0.5 to 2 pounds per week was my ideal goal. I didn't do that every week. Sometimes it was more, sometimes it was less, but I really didn't want to lose at a super fast rate because I have had gallbladder issues in the past and I didn't want to aggravate my gallbladder. I also am really trying not to have loose skin. I know that that is usually part of the process, and I'm sure I will have some. I wanted to go a little bit slower to try to avoid that if I could, but my goal was just to focus on that healthy loss. A loss is a loss even if it's 0.1 pounds. I have 3 more ride or die weight loss hacks, so hang in there with me. This one has been really game-changing for me, tracking my food honestly. So I use a food scale, I use measuring cups to weigh out rice, flour, pasta, to make sure that what I am tracking in my Lose It app is accurate and, not making excuses. There were so many times I would track my food in the past on a weight loss journey, so many journeys I've been on, but I would track it and it would not even be the accurate portion. So there's really no point in doing that. You're just lying to yourself. I will say I spent many, I would say, years in denial. Not weighing yourself is definitely a sign of denial, and then not accurately tracking when you're tracking is a sign of denial as well. At the time, I didn't really realize that, but I see it now looking back. I just put in the food, I measure it out, I put it in my tracker, and it helps me stay in a calorie deficit. My target is to stay right around there. Now, some days I go a little over, some days I'm under, but that has really, really helped me. And then that way I can look back if I've lost more than 2 pounds, or if I gained weight that week, I can look back and say, oh, did I go over? What was my week like? Did I have my period? That kind of stuff. But tracking honestly is a game changer. The next ride or die weight loss hack is if I drink my calories, I make sure they're sugar-free. Now, for the most part, I'm just drinking water with electrolytes or just plain water or my coffee in the morning. I don't do a ton of sodas. I don't even really do sparkling water, but that's just a personal preference. But if I do happen to go out, get a iced coffee with my friends, with my husband, whatever, I make sure it's a sugar-free option, a lower calorie option, so I can track it accurately. That way I can still enjoy the moment, enjoy my iced coffee, but not break the bank on my calorie goal. My last ride or die weight loss hack is that this plan has to be sustainable. It's sustainable or bust. There's literally no point in putting all this effort in if it's not sustainable, because you might lose weight in the short term, but in the long term, you might just be back where you started, and then all your effort just goes down the drain. I tried so many times before this and it never ever stuck because I didn't stick with a sustainable program. I tried carnivore, keto, and while that works for some people, it just was so extreme for me, I couldn't do it. I couldn't stick with it. So I would lose 10 pounds and then I just go back to eating the way I did before when something went awry, inevitably. I would go back to how I was eating before, and then I'd put the weight back on and maybe even a couple more pounds. And I did that over and over and over again until I hit my rock bottom and I said, you know what? Everything needs to change. So that is my last hack, but I wanted to share these with you. Even if you take one of these home with you, I'm hoping it helps. If you're on a GLP-1, please let me know down in the comments, how's your progress going? I hope it's going well. If you have any questions, I will certainly try to even look up the answer for you if I don't know it off the top of my head. But I also do want to add again that you can always go to your provider and ask them questions. That's what they're there for. Your primary care doctor, or if you're at a weight loss clinic or something, that's what they're there for. And you should be able to call them if you have a question, and no question is a dumb question. They don't expect you to be the professional, they're the professional. But if there's any way I can help, I am more than happy to answer it in the comments. If you like videos like this, please consider subscribing and watch this next video.